removal of fuel subsidy by President Bola Tinubu on assumption of office, Nigerians have called on the executive to cushion the sufferings following the untold hardship in the last few weeks. President Tinubu, in his response to Nigerians through the legislature's appeal for palliatives, has asked for the sum of 500 billion naira to aid the smooth process, commending President Bola Tinubu for being responsive to the legislature's call for palliatives for Nigerians to cushion the economic hardship effects being faced by Nigerians. Since the removal of the fuel subsidy, lawmakers deliberated, adopted and passed the bill for the immediate release of the said sum from the 2022 supplementary appropriations.
In a situation where policies are inevitably taken and they lead to expected and unexpected conditions or situations, we pray that we always have a government that listens and responds to the yearnings of the people. In this House, on this floor, many members have moved motions about the need for palliatives to our countrymen and women affected by the removal of fuel subsidy. In the media and on the floor of this House, I have not met or heard one person opposed to the removal of fuel subsidy.
Mr. Speaker, the subsidy all of us are crying about is just a delayed gratification, removal of it. We need something done in the country. We want to correct something in the country. We must make sacrifice. That sacrifice we are making cannot come without a price. And that price is the pain that our people are feeling across the nation. Mr. Speaker, to be insensitive to this pain, Mr. Speaker, will show wrong leadership. To be attentive to this pain is to show good leadership. That is what the executive have done by presenting this. And it is important, Mr. Speaker, that we break it a little further down for our colleagues to understand that this money is not a freebie. It's not going to be as usual. We have a man that is from the private sector, a man who has a policy drive that is channeled towards bettering the lot of Nigerians.
Mr. Speaker is wanting to provide budgetary allocation for the provision of palliatives to cushion the effect of oil subsidy removal. Is another thing for such money appropriated be used for the purpose intended. Mr. Speaker, according to an American journalist, H.S. Aga, that the truth that set men free is in most cases the truth that men prefer not to hear.
I think we must go a step further. What is going to be the nature of the palliatives? Nigerians cannot feed 3 square meals a day. The average Nigerian, as I speak, the middle class is almost wiped out because of the cost of living. The poor and the middle class. How is this 500 billion going to help our businesses? But if we're not talking about businesses and we're talking about individuals, how are we going to identify the most pressing needs of Nigerians? Is it going to be applied to transportation? Is it going to be applied to healthcare? Is it going to be applied to providing food or feeding or increase in wages? What about those in the informal sector? Some people are not employed by government. How do we ensure that these palliatives reaches them? So, Mr. Speaker, while I commend this, I think we should set up a committee, an ad hoc committee, to recommend the implementation of the palliatives and how these palliatives should be utilized by government.
Mr. Speaker, Mr. President being a listening president who hears the cries of Nigerians has
honorable colleagues, order please.
This
honorable colleagues
bill to us, and I believe as parliamentarians we should quickly do the needful so that our constituents will enjoy the dividend of democracy.
We are also aware as Nigerians that when we talk of palliatives, sometimes we see handouts being given to Nigerians, which will end up not having the effect, the purpose and purport of palliative. Mr. Speaker, we commend Mr. President for being responsive to the resolution of this House by promptly requesting for this money for palliative for Nigerians. Indeed, This money has already been budgeted in the appropriation. Therefore, it is nothing new. But the concern of Nigerians will always be the usage of this palliative.
The House suspended its rule and dissolved plenary went to the Committee of the Whole to enable it to adopt clause by clause of the bill. After plenary, the Deputy Speaker of the House, Honorable Benjamin Kalu, and other principal officers briefed the media and cleared the air on some sections of the palliative sum.
While the debate was going on, we noticed there were some presentations that were misrepresented or misunderstood. And we are here also to let you know that there are various components to that bill. That bill did not speak about one component. That bill, which was for about 819 billion, was not only for palliative. And so the breakdown was not only for palliative. The discussion was not only about palliative. The palliative component of that particular bill was 500 billion. That is to cushion the impact of the oil subsidy. Because, you know, Mr. President, from what we understood, believed that we can delay gratification for a greater gain tomorrow.
Recall that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu had, in a letter, requested from the House the sum of 500 billion naira to cushion the effect of the subsidy removal on Nigerians. Annie T. Patrick, LN 24/7 News, Abuja.